Just go live and everything will be fine. This is Mark Rushton of MarkRushtonGallery.com. And it is Friday, April 29th, 2022. It is raining out there. Gray day, gray weekend, gray everything. I'm back in the saddle today. Yesterday was kind of a pre-recorded thing that what did I do yesterday? I scheduled it. StreamYard likes to schedule everything a day in the future. And anyway, I missed that. And anyway, I got it corrected. Whatever. This video is called Paying for Advice versus Going It Alone. I'm just gonna riff on it. I don't even have I barely have any notes here, but we always start off each video, the daily art video during the day, with out at my Instagram site, Mark Rushton, where I'm now down to 105 followers. I've lost one. I've lost somebody. I don't know why, because I don't know. These images here are pretty good. Just check in with me. You can check in again in the future. It's not a big deal. So anyway, the Instagram picture of the day. My gosh, it's been 3 years since going to the student show at the Paseo Academy of Fine Arts in Kansas City. These were seniors, and then some of the teachers and the owner of the gallery I was in at the time, and some students here. I bought the piece that she's holding, and then the one that I'm holding back there. I've lost a little weight since then. I need to lose a little bit more. But it was pretty warm that night. It was pretty warm that night for Kansas City for the end of April, because I mean, anywhere here in the Midwest you could get snow through the end of April. It's just a possibility, but typically by Kansas City, by the end of April, you're not going to get snow. But it was nice out. And then after we were done here, we got some Gates barbecue sauce. Gates barbecue, which is real close by on Emmanuel Cleaver II Boulevard, which it used to be something else, but local boy makes good, right? So anyway, tons of great art there. I couldn't buy it all, but there were a lot of pieces I wanted to buy. I had a limited budget, but did get some wonderful pieces there, and they are safe and secure. But so anyway, just 3 years ago, what was that? 2019. The gal I bought that piece from there, where she's the dancing woman there in the image. Yeah, she told me she was going to go to. I think she was going to go to culinary school at Johnson County, Kansas, community college, JOCO, and yeah, where is everybody these days? Kind of just wonder where everybody is. Hope everyone's doing okay. That was a good evening. That was a really, really good evening. It was great to see the art and interact with the other people. And I miss Paul. Paul's a good guy. Very interesting character there that runs the Leopold Gallery in Kansas City. And but it was grateful for my time with them. Anyway, let's not get too into that. But he's an excellent writer. Absolutely excellent writer. And I wish he just put the books out, man. Just put the books out. You're a good writer, man. And runs a really great art gallery. So anyway, that was the Instagram picture of the day. But let's get on to the topic here. And I'm just talking. I'm riffing. Paying for advice versus going it alone. And what are we going to go over here? Go over to my website here. Yeah, I've changed the photo, the more modern photo with my paintings in the background here. It's just going to have me up. I'm just going to be talking, paying for advice versus going it alone. So that's one thing that I've really kind of gotten into here the last few years, anyway, as far as for paying for advice. I signed up for a course a few years ago called the Art Business Academy. And that was largely to figure out how to get the art thing going and how to get into galleries, which I did. But then COVID happened, and it just, you know, it just messed everything up. But that's okay. I learned a lot in that. It was a wonderful course. It took a long time to go through it, and it was worth absolutely every penny. It really was. It really brought me to the next level. But the last 2 years here, I kind of largely, you know, galleries weren't a thing, and submitting to galleries was definitely, particularly where I am, was definitely not on the table. And I was adrift. I was adrift the last couple of years, and then I don't know. I just started thinking about things, um, and kind of dovetailing that with sort of the success that I've had, on the music side of things here, and getting into as kind of getting my label better established, getting all my stuff out there on the different streaming services, building public playlists, transferring them everywhere, learning how the different streaming services around the world work, and getting accounts on many of them paying that I never use. You buy the product and never use it. That's me. And then just learning the whole world of royalties, because even though I've been a member of ASCAP since 2002, I didn't really know how all that worked. And I never really made any money from, I mean, I sold downloads and I sold a few CDs and stuff like that over the years. And the download era was better than the CD era. But then the streaming era happened, and I didn't know what I was doing, but I eventually figured it out to a certain extent, at least on the streaming side. And that's been fun, but I was going it alone. I didn't have I didn't I di- I didn't have a mentor or advisor or anything like that on how to do that sort of thing. And so I made a lot of mistakes along the way, and I learned from every single one of them. And that was good. But last 6 months or so, I don't know what struck me. Something struck me, and it was, you know what it was? You know what it was? It was, some things. I think it was largely opportunities with in-app licensing on music reports, and then getting into Sound Exchange since late 2019, and figuring out how those worldwide mechanical and publishing royalties work, and cleaning up everything on Sound Exchange, and then later cleaning up everything on Song Trust, which relates to ASCAP. And I'm not going to, there's no point in, but it was a lot of heavy lifting, a lot of dirty work, because I have a lot of titles, and my data was not in the way that it should have been. And of course, nobody tells you when you're making music and then releasing recordings. That's the fun part of it. That's the blast, right? But as far as like record keeping and how to do things, yeah, you can go buy that big Don Passman book. That might be updated for the modern era, but there's a lot of stuff in there and you see this around all over the internet. Everybody's got advice and everything like that. And it's like uh, it depends on what kind of musician you are. And I'm not your typical musician that's going, I can't write you a song. I can't play in a key. I really don't play instruments, but yet I make music. Yet I make recordings, and yet I can release them, distribute them worldwide, and get listeners. Not necessarily fans. I see where Spotify is just obsessed with fans. They're obsessed with fans. I don't know why they're obsessed with fans. You want listeners, not fans. Anyway, side rant, right? Anyway, I stumbled into the world of synchronization licensing. Largely because people have asked me over the years to use my music in their things, whether it be like a small documentary or student projects or various things. I get emails, and sometimes they lead to something, and most of the time they don't, because I'll say, if you use it in there, just send me a link, and I'd be very interested in seeing how it's used. And that's, no money has to exchange hands, and that's fine, because they're usually just a creative working on a project. It's not like they're um, building the next Super Bowl ad or anything like that. It's definitely not that. Um, and I've tried to dip my toe into the local world here, and that's uh, don't have such, I don't want to be so. Sometimes local isn't in your best interest. I'll just say that. Anyway, I wanted to dip my toe in the world of syncs, synchronization, licensing my music, and all that sort of stuff. So I've had to get my catalog and my data into a Airtable relational database. It's a cloud-based relational database using a template out there called Gizmo Plus that I pay for. I started getting a Disco account, disco.ac, which a lot of music supervisors and agencies use, and I'm still figuring it out. I mean, I have about 80 of my tracks in there, and it's I think I kind of got it largely figured out, but again, it's gonna take all year to kind of unleash the kraken of disco. Because I've attended their webinars, and they're great. They're great. It's so much fun to attend those things. I kind of wish they did them more often. I also wish that Disco performed audits of their paying customers, particularly ones who subscribe to all the advanced services, which is what I do, thinking it'll lead to something. And it probably will over time. That's fine. It takes a long time to get your music set up in there in a particular way. And I get it to a certain extent, but I don't fully get it, right? But one thing I've learned is that, these companies here that sell software, I would call it software as a service, or that, there's a product that you buy and you set things up in a particular way. One example of that would be the Mark Rushton Gallery here, which I do through art storefronts. Absolutely love them. Absolutely love them. I'm sure if you watch the videos on them, and watch, particularly like Patrick and Nick talking, most artists would be like, what are these guys talking about? But I get it. I totally get it. I was totally on board. I've listened to pretty much all of their podcasts over the last few years here, in the last several months, and watched their videos regularly. And like it's signing up for their service and paying for their service and continuing to use their service and following their advice has been good. It's, again, paying for the advice. You definitely pay for the advice with art storefronts. And it is, listen, I sold an original painting last week, right? And I've got all this stuff, and I'm back making art again. And I've got things like the calendar, and I've got compact discs in the store even, and I got the tote bag store that's happening. So it's I feel like I'm back there. So I paid for that advice. But on the music side there, again, I think with everything with regard to the music side, I have been pretty much out there all alone. And there's a lot of bad advice out there. And, um, it's difficult. Everybody comes at it from a different perspective. As a recording artist, if I talk to a musician, there's so many different types of musicians that, there's some people that do this for a living. There's some people doing it on the side. There's, everybody has a different level of, and then they have their own biases and interests and stuff. And I'm out here on an island. I really am, because of the genre I'm in, and then it's avant-garde stuff. This is not mainstream pop. This is not corporate background music. And that's fine. That's fine. Perfectly fine. But I got my little niche here, and it's just like, where do you go with it, right? So that's what I'm figuring out. And so anyway, I've been something a service. Some people landed in my YouTube feed, recommended feed here in the last week or two. Started watching, started listening, and then realized, oh, this is somebody who's just like, a couple years ahead of me as far as where I want to be with regard to music licensing or libraries, which I knew very little about. Music libraries, licensing libraries. This cat just is bonkers. Aren't you bonkers? You're crazy. You're here today. You weren't here most of yesterday. Well, I'm back. Anyway, anyway, I put in for an hour of somebody's time. An hour of somebody's time. And I've already kind of written out kind of a what would you call it? Bullet points or high level overview of the things I kind of want to go over, just real quick introductions. And then sort of, I know what I know about you, but here's what I've learned from you. And here's kind of my stumbling blocks. And for God's sakes, cat, come here. You want to get up on my lap? Get up on my lap. You want to be the star of the show? Be the star of the show here. Here we go. Here we go. Here you go. Here you go, peeps. You want to talk? You want to talk? I'll put you on the microphone. No, I don't want to be talking. I want to sit over here now. Poor cat. Everything's a mess. Anyway, so yeah, I did that. I did that today. I did. Yeah, okay. This guy looks this. When somebody looks legit and they're speaking from experience, and they're speaking from analytics, from data, speaking from experiments, which I've done a lot of experimenting, and I've tried to convey that to others, and some people have listened and some people have not, to their detriment. That's fine. Not my problem. But yeah, when it's hard identifying these individuals. And then even, they always say, do your research, right? Well, finding those people to talk to, and ultimately you're going to have to pay for their advice. It's worth it. It's worth it. Because I saw one of the guy's videos last night and I was just like, yes, I know what you're doing. Thank you for showing me that. And I just like, I don't know, and I guess I wanted to do like a super chat or something like that. But then I found out the dude did consultant work, right? Kind of like how I do commissions here on the Mark Rushton Gallery. It's like, so if somebody was looking for a custom painting or an exclusive print or even a non-exclusive print, wanted me to make something for them so they could have it be a certain way here. I mean, that's, it's what's that? The permission marketing or whatever. It's like that sort of thing. It's like, oh, I like your stuff. I want to give you money. You provide me value. You have either provided me value or you will provide me value in the future. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with the hired gun. Nothing wrong with the corporate mercenary, right? I'm joking, of course. But oh my God, this has turned into kind of a long rant here. But yeah. It's paying for advice versus going it alone. Going alone's hard, man. It's so hard. Particularly like the last year and a half and the music side, just clawing my way and figuring out my catalog and what I need to be doing. And I'm not waving. I'm not drowning. I'm waving. All right, tonight, let's not get this beyond 20 minutes here. Tonight I'll be doing live art show number 11 on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, just like here. So I have a new artwork. I have an idea, the artwork that I'm going to offer. It's still not yet photographed, but we're going to do that. Unless you all like a cat here. This cat's very nice. Peeps, you're such a nice cat. You need some attention. All right, I'll talk to you later. See you later.